one game away. Blow up. We're playing for something, man. We're playing for something. Just gotta mean something, you. They gotta mean something. Everything you got. Let's finish this.
Do it, fellas.
Let's go.
Let's do it, fellas.
Finish 2 3. 1 2 3. Finish.
I'm not worried about the world anymore. I've seen the world be my friend. I've seen the world turn on me. But at the end of the day, I've always been with me. God has always been with me. So being on this scale now, it's my time. It's always been my time, but now it's my time to actually do it for myself.
You ready to make history? Come on now. Yeah. You know, there's these 2 words. And when I say them, people get goosebumps because they know what happens next. So without further ado, free smoke. Look, scared cause I'm drowning in silence with bad thoughts. These days I don't have nothing to say, man, the bag talks. I put in headphones on my driver. Pull up to the spot and give a good dick and Godiva. I can't lie, I'm uninspired. No more pillow talking about nonsense. I only stick around to put some band-aids on my conscience. I don't know why I feel so bad, nigga. That's what we do, no foundation. We don't build no more, we just screw. Half a bottle of Henny, girl, I'm going with the wind. The same niggas say they happy for me, ain't want me to win. So I'm done on my friends. Don't need help popping Coronas and reminiscing. I just call up Big Bro J and say it's time for venting. If I live forever, I hold this hate for some centuries. You don't know how much I have you doing what it meant to me, but motherfuck all that. I don't even offer up the time to make the call back. Stupid Lodo, if they don't get the picture now, man, I crop them out of the photo. I can't relate to my peers. Been doing this shit for years. I'm motivated by fears. I took the wheel and I steer. My sound not dictated by fuck boys in Atlanta. Stay gifted like this album was ghost written by Santa Bars forever, like they decided to throw me under Slammer. Every song's a hit like they picture me underhanders. I could drop 1,000,000 songs, but they never gon' understand us. Soapbox sermons for niggas never giving chances. Fight our whole lives to get these weak ass advances. Work twice as hard for the shit that they getting handed. And this ain't even nothing we chose, nigga, we branded. Still can't tell why all of these niggas mad at me. I'm trying to get 100 so I can put my team on salary. Give it all to the art, man, I turn my life to a gallery. Man, damn, what a fucked up masterpiece. 1,100 shots and I swear, man, I felt them all. If we ain't even good on our blocks, man, who can we call? Pre-decline state of mind, we broke crabs in the barrel. Got us fighting our folk, man, this shit just a life of peril.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we kick the show off today, if you're watching the show, listen, I truly do appreciate you, but what I need you to do, I know I asked you how to like, subscribe, share, tell somebody you love them, fuck with them, but I need you to do something different today. I would really appreciate it if everybody would go to the comment section or just wish my guy, Henry, a happy birthday. He always in the comment section. He'll probably be in the comment section of this video. This video will 100% be up today on my guy's birthday. I hope I can get it up before I have to go into work and get off late tonight. But happy birthday to my guy Henry, one of the most loyal supporters I have. Enjoy your day, King. I hope everything go great for you, my guy. Happy birthday, big dog. With that being said, yo, how's everybody doing today, bro? I hope y'all day not as good as Henry's day, but you know, I hope y'all having a dope day nonetheless. We have to talk about the last NFC division. The NFC West. And I saved this division last on purpose. Simply because I actually wanted to do this division first. Because I didn't feel like this division would take that long. Initially, my last division for the NFC was going to be Dallas. Somehow I had confused the divisions, and so I just went ahead and said, F it, I'll just do this one last. But one of the reasons I wanted to do it first, and then I just said, I'll just do it last, it's because it's not a division that'll probably take too long to talk about. Because there's 2 teams in this division that I don't care what you say, they are rebuilding. One of them don't know they're rebuilding yet, but when I start to talk about them, you will understand why they are. And another team in the Cardinals won't even have their quarterback this year. So they know that this is a year that they won't be in the playoffs. They won't be competing for anything. This is a year that you're trying to develop young guys, You're trying to possibly get a good pick in the draft. You do not expect to be competitive this year if you are the Cardinals. That is why the Cardinals most definitely will finish in last place in the division. It's not really much to talk about. With Kyler Murray recovering from his injury, and to be completely honest with you, a lot of talent left out of the door for talent been leaving out of the door the last couple years. But you lose Byron Murphy, a great player. You lose Zach Allen. I mean, you still got Budda Baker, but I mean, how long before he requests a trade? So, I mean, or how long before you just trade him so you can stockpile draft picks? Because that's really where it feels like the Cardinals is headed. They don't have anything for Kyler Murray right now. And I do like Rondale Moore, who I'll talk about in a future video. Little teaser right there. But this is, I feel bad for the Cardinal fans in a way, because you look at what the Cardinals have been over the last couple years. I'm talking about back to the Bruce Arians, Carson Palmer days. I don't know if some of y'all watched the Larry Fitzgerald, Kurt Warner, Anquan Bolden days. It's a shame what the Cardinals look like right now, but especially with that beautiful stadium. But nice uniforms, nice stadiums, nice place to live. The Phoenix Suns up the street, around the corner or whatever. You anticipate they'll have a great year. Man, I think Arizona got to get it together, but they're finishing in last place. It's no discussion. And to be honest with you, Arizona can look at this as a positive. You will not have Kyler Murray this year. It's no purpose of even trying to rush him back. Let that man get 100% healthy. You might as well hope that you get a top draft pick so that you can get something that can significantly help Kyler out, whether it be another receiver, a new number one receiver, or because maybe Rondale Moore end up being a number one receiver, but maybe you get him an offensive lineman, or, whatever it is. But the Cardinals got it's just a talent depleted team, which brings me to the team that'll probably finish in third, but probably won't finish that many games away from finishing in last with the Cardinals. The only thing that'll make a difference is the fact that they're a better coach team, a better organization. They still have Aaron Donald. You still have Matthew Stafford, if that counts for anything. You still got Cooper Kupp. But it's the Rams. The Rams will finish in third place, and it hurt me saying that because I am a Rams fan, basically. That is my team in the NFC. So it hurt me to say that. I don't want to see Aaron Donald on a bad team. But I don't see the Rams being good this year. I love Ernest Jones, the middle linebacker for the Rams. Ernest Jones the third. Love him. But we lose Taylor. Let me just go down a list of some players that the Rams lost in the offseason. Taylor Rapp, the safety, gone. Jalen Ramsey, corner, gone. Deshaun Robinson. I can't remember how to pronounce my man's first name. Ashawn Robinson, I believe is how I pronounce his first name. He gone. That was the defensive tackle who was great at stopping the run. Bobby Wagner had a great year last year. He gone. Leonard Floyd, the pass rusher. He gone. And you lost a couple other players. We lost basically 8-9 starters for the Rams in the offseason on defense. Yeah, that's not good. That is not good. Meaning the Rams, just like I said about the Falcons, are relying on a lot of young guys who haven't proven anything, haven't shown you that they can be successful in the NFL, or maybe guys who are a little bit past their prime. I'm not talking about Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald's still a god on the field. And I'm also not talking about the Ernest Jones, but man, Rapp would have been a great guy to bring back. I understand you had to trade Jalen Ramsey, but I mean, God, losing him, losing Robinson, these is all impact players. Like the Falcons fan, I'm sorry to keep talking about you, but if this was the list of defensive players the Falcons had brought in, bro, you wouldn't have saw me make no complaints about the Falcons defense. This is what's leaving a team. All of these players are leaving a team, bro. Not to mention the Rams lost good players last year in the offseason. It's getting ugly for the Rams, bro. I would not be shocked if they finished somewhere close to last place, as in like record-wise, because, bro, you can't trust Matthew Stafford going to stay healthy all season. You don't know if he's still a top-tier quarterback. Cooper Kupp, he coming back off an injury. I expect him to be back to normal. I expect Aaron Donald, coming off an injury, to be back to normal. My only concern as far as those three players is Matthew Stafford. However, it's not a lot to work with. And you got to hope Cam is better this year at the run back. You got to hope the offensive line for the Rams is not really terrible, but it was not that great last year. Matthew Stafford do hold on to the ball a little bit too long at times, but last year the Rams offensive line could have definitely been better. The running game for the Rams was non-existent last year. Sean McVay's offense is very reliant on having a great run game, and it just let him down last year. The receiving core let him down last year in the sense that they got really no production from the tight ends or any receiver outside of Cooper Kupp. So, listen, to me, the Rams have a long way to go in order to get back to a contending team. And that's why I got them finishing in third place in the division. Now, this next one was tough, bro. And give me a second. This next one was tough. I'm not going to lie to you, because I did not know if I wanted to put the Seahawks or the 49ers in second place. I didn't know. But after my apologies for that quick little pause right there. But after thinking about it very hard, I don't want to make safe picks, but I also don't want to make dumb picks, like just for the sake of views and just the sake of saying shit. This is a tough one, bro, because I done seen quarterbacks be good for Kyle Shanahan for a couple games for a year and then fall off the cliff the next year. Brock Purdy, I told you, I liked Brock Purdy last year, but I'm not. I told you, one of the things that irritated me last year was I watched all of the Brock Purdy starts. Brock Purdy played good. Brock Purdy wasn't like some world-changing quarterback, though. He just stuck to the game plan. The 49ers are an uber-talented team, bro. He didn't have to do much. But that was the joy. That was the beauty in it. He didn't have to do much. He didn't do too much. He didn't ever try to do too much. We saw Jimmy G be successful in this system. But will he have the same year he had last year? I don't know. Will he be incrementally? How much better will he be from last year? And then I look at Geno Smith. We saw what Geno was before last year. Will he have a better year than he had last year? Or was last year his cap? Like, you're really relying heavily on two quarterbacks who could fall off a cliff this year and somehow have the Rams finish in first place just because of it. Because Matthew Stafford decided to play more competent than these quarterbacks. That's really what you're doing right now, having to rely on two quarterbacks who only have given you one. Geno won comeback player of the year last year, so I don't want to shit on his comeback season, but both quarterbacks gave you good seasons last year. They didn't give you like a Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Josh Allen top tier year, but they gave you good years nonetheless. Got your teams to the playoffs. So I'm not trying to disrespect either of the two quarterbacks. It's just so hard determining, because I haven't seen enough. If I wanted to make a predict, it would be like, because I haven't seen Brock Purdy not be successful longer than I have seen Geno Smith not be successful, then that would make you want to say the 49ers, right? Because you could look at both teams, but this is the thing. People will say, well, you got to take the things around them. Bro, I don't know if you done seen that Seahawks defense. The Seahawks have weapons, bro. On offense, I like the Seahawks weapons more than I like the weapons on the 49ers. No disrespect to Deebo Samuel. He is a good receiver. He is not Tyreek Hill. people try to make it seem like he is the same thing Tyreek Hill is. He is not. And as good a receiver he is not better than the top 2 receivers on the Seahawks. For one, I tell y'all all the time, stop sleeping on my boy, bro. And I just forgot my man's name. Hold up, bro. Hold up. I always do this. I always do this, bro. I always do this. I always forget my man's name, bro. It's not DK. It's Tyler something. No, it's not Tyler. Tyler Lockett. It is Tyler. Tyler Lockett, bro. I always forget my man's name. I don't know why. Because I am a staunch supporter of Tyler Lockett, bro. For a long time, I was telling y'all he is better than DK Metcalf if y'all actually watch the tape. Now they about the same. Both of them, to me, are top tier receivers. I think you can have both of them as your number 1 receiver, to be completely honest with you. They complement each other so very well. I like that receiving core more than I like the receiving core or the offensive. Like, I love CJ McCaffrey. Love Debo. Love George Kittle. I love the offensive line for the even though McClinsky left in free agency, I still like the offensive line because you still got Trent there. For the 49ers, it's just which quarterback, bro? Because, yo, look at the additions that the Seahawks made in the offseason on defense. Julian Love go from the Giants to the Seahawks. Julian Love is a great safety. So if you don't know who Julian Love is, just know he will be a great player for the Seahawks, especially seeing as how I feel like defenders get better with the Seahawks. Jamal Adams going to be back. You get Bobby Wagner back. You bring over Devin Bush. Now, if he can stay healthy and play up to his potential, that's a great addition at linebacker. Dramont Jones for the line. Those are great additions that they made. They got a receiver in the draft. Like, yo, the Seahawks made a lot of great moves in the offseason. And the year prior, because you still got Tariq Woolen, who I think is going to end up being one of the top 5 corners in the game by the end of the season. For one, this dude is a giant. Like 6'4", bro. That's one of the things that made Jimmy Smith for the Ravens so special. You got the speed, the agility, the ability to run with guys and run routes like the receiver can, and ball skills. And that's what make a very good cornerback. Richard Sherman, that's basically kind of what he like. And it's another corner. I like the Seahawks defense, and I like the Seahawks offensive weapons. The question will be, can Geno take his game to the next level? Henry, apologies. I had to cut that video short. Got into some things I had to do. I had to cut that video short, but we're going to pick right back up. So that's why it's this. You hear me talking about Geno, and then it's a cutoff. That's because of that. With that being said, before I get back into Geno, if you watch the video, drop my man Henry a happy belated birthday. Again, happy birthday, my guy. Happy belated birthday. You that dude. Now, to get back into it, Geno Smith is everything for Seattle. Not in the sense as they go as he go. Not in that sense, how we talk about like superstar quarterbacks. But if Geno can take his game, like I'm not expecting Geno to come out there and be Pat Mahomes, Lamar, and all these other. I'm not expecting that. But Geno showed that if you put him in a system with a coach that believes in him, with talent around him, and a competent defense, a competent offensive line, he can do some things for you. Now, listen, I know it's shocking that I might be putting this Seahawks in first place in this division because we so used to the 49ers hype train is real. However, as much as I like the 49ers defense, I do not like their secondary more than I like the secondary of the Seahawks. The Seahawks have a phenomenal secondary. Not phenomenal. They will have a phenomenal secondary at some point in time in the next year or so. Their defense is rebuilding into the defense. I'm not going to say they're going to be the Legion of Boom, but this is going to be a competent defense. The corner, I hate that I forgot the cornerback's name once again. But the cornerback that they brought in last year that's like 6'2", 6'4", or something like that. basically a Richard Sherman type of prototypical corner. You bring in another good corner. You bring in Jigma for the offense, another receiver. I got Jack. How do you pronounce his name? Jackson and Jigba Smith. You bring him in. I saw a thing where they were talking about Ohio State quarterbacks last night. Receivers last night. Which is one of the reasons, if you see the receivers Ohio State putting out, you'll see why the quarterbacks at Ohio State don't translate when they get to the NFL. Because when you play with a team full of number one receivers, it's kind of hard to be great in the NFL when you're not given a lot of number one receivers, which is why I reserve my judgment for Joe Burrow when I don't see him with a shit ton of talent around him. That's neither here nor there, though. We're talking about the Seahawks and the 49ers. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm just going to go on a limb. Much like I did in the Packers division, I think the Seahawks are going to finish in first place. Listen, you know how much I love Kyle Shanahan, one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. But at the end of the day, I do not believe in Brock Purdy. I don't believe in Geno Smith. The difference, I like the weapons around Geno more than I like the weapons around Brock. Not only that, Brock is going to be very reliant on the coaching, on the game plan. He's not going to be taking too many chances playing outside of the structure. He is going to be playing within the structure of Kyle Shanahan's offense. And while I understand the offense is very limited in Seattle at times, last year they gave Geno the room to be a quarterback. They did not force him to hand the ball off 50 times a game. He was allowed to use the weapons that they have. And I can only imagine that when you go get another receiver who could potentially be another top tier receiver, you give him three. They could be building up a receiving core much like the Bengals, to where if Geno doesn't work out, you go plug a quarterback in there. Oh my goodness. This is why I'm irritated that a lot of teams didn't go push for Lamar Jackson. I understand you might think that you had to give up a lot and that Baltimore was never going to trade him. Bro, it's no way. Because for one, this is my thing with this trade thing when it came to Lamar. Baltimore was never going to request a receiver in return because they were never going to pay him. So if the Seahawks would have went all out to go get Lamar, they could have rest assured, if we get Lamar, we will also still keep DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. We won't lose either of them because the Ravens don't want superstar receivers that cost money. They want cheap receivers that could possibly be good. That was one of my problems because if you put Lamar Jackson on the Seahawks right now, I probably pick them to win the Super Bowl to get to the Super. It's not no probably. I pick them to get to the Super Bowl in the NFC. That's the reality. You put Lamar Jackson on a team in the NFC, that's the team that I'm taking for the Super Bowl. So I don't want to make it feel like none of these teams is like, even though this is a completely different conversation. I know I'm going to end up talking about how weaker I think the NFC is when I get to the AFC. But I don't want you to think it's just like bad teams. I just think the quarterback play in the NFC is nowhere near as good as the quarterback play in the AFC. And as much as I love Jalen Hurts, because I'm always going to be biased, he went to Bama and I watched him play at Bama for a long time. As biased as I am for Jalen Hurts, as much as I love Dak Prescott, I saw a thing the other day that said like black people don't like Dak Prescott or we don't accept him like we accept Lamar. I don't know why Lamar constantly get thrown into these things as if people attack Lamar all the time. But I guess the black community don't. But I didn't know the black community went against Dak Prescott. I love Dak Prescott. I literally root for Dak Prescott because he is an African American. I say it all the time. I'm going to root for African American men, which is why I'm so, and you could tell, while I got a bias for African American men, I never get on here and lie. I tell you, Justin Fields is not a competent NFL quarterback. Dak Prescott is. So I even tell you, I don't know what more you could do for Dak at this point. He got to take his game to the next level. But, y'all say some of the most asinine shit, man. But that's neither here nor there. Listen, as much as I like Jalen Hurts, as much as I like Dak, neither of them two quarterbacks. My homeboy asked me last night, a brother of mine. I could show you the text, but I'm not that type of individual. I actually hate it when people do that. Show text messages. Even if somebody told me, show the text, I wouldn't do it. He texted me last night, and it's basically the same thing as showing you if I'm telling you, but I'm not going to tell you the exact word for it. It's not a private conversation, really. It was a topic of me educating. He was like, why do you think Lamar Jackson should be paid more than Jalen Hurts? And I was like, before last year, did you think Jalen Hurts was better than Lamar Jackson? On top of that, if you took Jalen Hurts and switched him with Lamar Jackson, do you think he had the same success that he had last year with the exact same things Lamar done had to work with? Lamar won unanimous MVP, and that season his stats is far better than the season stats Jalen Hurts put up last year in his almost MVP season. And I hate doing this because it's no shot at Jalen Hurts. I love Jalen Hurts. But if you give Lamar Jackson the weapons that Jalen Hurts had last year, do you believe Lamar Jackson would have been to a Super Bowl by now? If you give him the team that the Eagles had around Jalen Hurts last year, what do you think Lamar Jackson do with that type of team? On top of that, when in Lamar Jackson's football career has he ever had that type of talent around him? I could make an argument the best talent Lamar Jackson had ever had in his football career, high school, college, NFL, Little League, is right now this year. And this ain't even the most, like Odell coming off of injuries. Zay's a rookie. Shout out to Zay. I saw him scoring the preseason last night. And by the way, when I get to Baltimore, it's no question Josh Johnson should be the backup quarterback to Lamar, not Tyler Huntley, bro. Tyler Huntley, and it is no disrespect for Tyler Huntley, he is not a good NFL quarterback either. Josh Johnson made a lot of great plays last night in the preseason game. I told y'all I don't watch that. Don't shoot me. But I'm going to make a video on it because it's a couple things that I saw in that preseason game that I just got to talk about. But Lamar Jackson, if he was in the NFC right now, I would take his team going to a Super Bowl because he's the best quarterback in the NFC by a wide margin, in my opinion, especially if you give him talent. I don't know if another quarterback could lift the talent Lamar done had to lift aside from Pat Mahomes, because I've only seen Pat Mahomes do so. Him and Lamar, the only two who I've seen raise the level of talent that is so far beneath. Pat Mahomes just won a Super Bowl with Juju Smith-Schuster, bro. Stop playing with me. You can't even name Lamar Jackson's receivers in his unanimous MVP year. And if I told you, you don't even know who Willie Snead is. I use Willie Snead because I like Willie Snead. I wanted to give him a shot. I'm not giving shout outs to the other receivers, bro. I'm not going to do it. I know Marquise was there, but y'all like to overrate him to be funny, and I don't. I don't know why he dropped so many passes. I'm going to talk about it when I talk about it then, because this is one of my problems with the Ravens scouting their receivers. They do not scout good receivers for some reason. And one of the problems is they do not scout receivers who catch with their hands. I am not understanding how, bro, go look at Devontae Adams in college. A lot of those catches is hands catches, which made the Packers believe on the next level he could be a great receiver because he catches with his hands, not with his body. Bruh. I'm going to just say that video for when I get to that video. But nonetheless, back to the Seahawks and the 49ers. The Seahawks, to me, if you look at the team, they got Jamal Adams comes back this year. You got, I always tell y'all, Diggs in they back, Quandre. One of the best safeties in football that don't get talked about enough. An absolute fucking ball hawk. Just a high IQ football player. Like he almost like a middle linebacker playing safety because of how he can captain the defense. I love Quantity. And now you bring back Bobby Wagner. Oh my goodness. Bobby Wagner with the deep. Oh my. Bro, I'm taking the Seahawks to finish first in the division, and I do not regret it. I think the Seahawks are going to be phenomenal this year. This is going to be a double-digit win team. I'm telling you right now. Geno is not going to make an MVP push, but he will be mentioned in MVP conversations at points and times throughout the year. That's how good this... Bro, I don't know if the Seahawks could have afforded to put the type of talent around. Well, yeah, they could have. You can afford anything in the NFL if you want it. But the type of talent that they done put around Geno, like they did Russ in his early years, oh my goodness, this is talent on this team. And while I know everybody look at the 49ers and instantly you think to yourself, oh, this is the most talented team in the NFL. I agree. This is one of the more talented teams in the NFL. But if you take a real good look at this Seattle defense and this Seattle offense, bro, it is a lot of talent there. And so while I know a lot of people might look at this division and say, it's only a one team, no, it is not. For one, you just don't know with the Rams because Sean McVay is just he is a him coach, bro. I'm never going to discredit Sean McVay. That motherfucker is him. You still got the best defensive player and one of the best players in football in Aaron Donald on your team. And one of the only true game changers in football, a guy who actually moves. You know, in baseball, it's a stat called WAR, wins above replacement. How many wins above replacement do a team bring? It's kind of like how many, for the NBA, it's kind of like how many wins do you get when you add this player to a team? Aaron Donald is a guy who legitimately add wins to a team, but more importantly in the NFL, to me, adding wins to a team is not as important as when you get in big games, this player actually moves the needle in the game. This is a needle mover game player. The Von Millers of the world, Joe Flacco in the playoffs, Tom Brady's of the world, like those the Aaron Donalds of the world, who when you get them in a big game, you know for a fact you have to game plan at least half that week on stopping Aaron Donald. O.C. Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, that New York Giants NASCAR defense that year, like Ray Lewis, Ed Reed, like it is Terrell Suggs. These are James Harris. These are Patetti Brewski, Willie McGinnis, Ty Law. These are Bob Sanders, Peyton Manning, Marvin Harrison. These are players, Randy Moss, who change the trajectory of a game in big moments. Terrell Owens. I ain't saying no Randy Moss. I'm not going to say T.O. Megatron. Now, I know I done went straight away from the path of big game, but you know what I'm saying? These dudes change the frequency, the gravity, if you will, of the game. And so, with all that being said, I'm taking Seattle to finish in first in the division. And I think two teams will make the playoffs in this division, though, for the simple reason the NFC is not strong. The Panthers division will probably only get one team come out of that division. It'll more than likely be the Saints. But two could come out of that division. The Cowboys division is definitely going to have the Cowboys and the Eagles coming out of it. But I saw Sam Howell the other night. I'm not judging him based off of what I saw against a preseason game, but it's always things you could take from games. You know, he looked good against that simplified defense, but I will never have faith in Ron Rivera. They're not making the playoffs. But the Bears division, that's not going to be a two-team division. So the Seahawks and the 49ers will more than likely both make the playoffs. But I'm taking the Seahawks to finish in first. They made it last year off of a tiebreaker. They won't need a tiebreaker this year because they will win the division. Now, with that being said, I appreciate you all so very much for tuning in to these division predictions. You could be anywhere else in the world, but you chose to stop by and listen to me. And I truly appreciate you for that. Like, subscribe, share, because it does help me out a lot. We are on a chase for 30 subscribers. I appreciate you all so very gratefully. Even if you watch 2 seconds of the video, I appreciate it. Again, wish my guy Henry a happy belated birthday. I wish you all nothing but the best. Tell somebody you fuck with him. Tell somebody you love him. You can be anything in the world. Choose to be kind to somebody today. And go kiss your mom on the cheek, man. Tell her you love her. Sign out.
And I'm ready, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Yeah. And I'm here to stay. I'm not back, I'm better.
I got the moves like hot sauce. Lil' mama taking the top off. I'm laying down getting topped off. After this, you know she getting knocked off. I know she loving the money, so I keep on thumbing and thumbing. She say she horny when she taking shots, so I keep them coming and coming. Now I'm putting dick in her tummy. Scoop her up like I'm raking her something. You would think shawty red track, the way that she running and running. You getting dumber and dumber. You out here chasing the bone. After she finished from giving me dome, the Uber is taking her home.